Hi, Kent Renee back again. And we skipped over some pages in the book, so we're going to kind of back up. This is still chapter 3. We're going to be covering pages 46 to 48, and that is on vibrational understanding.
So, okay, I was going to talk about quantum paths and how vibration relates to quantum paths. So first of all, define quantum paths.
That would be all the paths that are available to each individual at their disposal, and it's based on their level of understanding.
Okay. How do we explain it? Here is you standing here, and these are different paths, quantum paths that you can take or decide on. And say you take this path. Well, when you get there, you end up here. And then you have more quantum paths. So throughout your life, you're continually choosing a path of many selections that you can choose. And when you choose that path, you're on a learning process.
So it depends on your level of understanding, what is open and available to you. This is not about manifesting. And so we learned from the manifesting about vibration. It goes beyond that. And so this is really all about the learning, and it's a learning about vibration. So what we're doing in our life is we're studying vibration at its very basic element. So each event has a vibration. Everything that happens in our lives, our thoughts have vibration. And
so you can say what you choose is what you learn.
Yes, it's your decision making should start and be guided by the higher self. It's not always the case, but either way, our decisions ultimately lead to an event. And that event should be studied. We should do our introspection, and it's
opens the possibilities for different events for you to learn in.
Yeah, so it's all about the learning. And so our vibrational attunement is equal to our level of understanding. So our thoughts have vibration. Our level of understanding has vibration. It all relates. And then we make our decisions based on our level of understanding at that given moment.
So as you begin to learn, understand the outcome of a particular event that you chose, then you must go in within, which is introspection from within, and say, okay, why did I choose this? And then what did I learn from it? So either you repeat that same process, or you don't want to go back there because it was not a good, in your judgment, a good learning event.
So oftentimes you'll see people repeating things, and they're either not doing the introspection, they're not thinking about the events that they're creating in their lives, and they're repeating them because they haven't learned the lesson yet, or they're looking at it from different angles, which is the angular learning we talked about earlier.
Yeah, well, each attachment that we reflect on gives you a new understanding.
So what Kent's talking about is attunement. And so as we reflect on the event, and it's not the event itself, don't focus on the final event. It is the decisions that were made prior to the event. So follow that energy pathway. What decisions happened? What occurred that led up to the final event? Yeah. So therefore, like say, if you're studying what happened on 9/11 and the Twin Towers, it's not the event of the towers coming down. It is what led up to that event occurring. That is where our learning is.
So all these, again, we go back to is the path you chose. One of the quantum paths that are available for you to choose to make decisions in this life.
And once the learning has occurred, then we get a vibrational attunement.
We learn how to process that learning.
We are attuned vibrationally. Our spirit, soul, and our physical body is attuned to that vibrational understanding that we have gained out of the processing that occurred from the event that we were thinking about.
So when you choose a quantum path, it relates to the whole event from the beginning to the end of what you were able to understand or learn. So is there one path? No. Again, there are many paths, quantum events that take place, and you choose one at a time.
And each, out of the quantum paths that are available to us, it all goes back to our level of understanding. So if we don't, understand something very much, we're not ready for it, and it's going to lead us in a certain direction. We're going to make certain decisions based on our lack of understanding. That leads to an event.
That's like shooting in the dark. So
yeah, how many times have you thought, gosh, I wish I hadn't have done that. But at the time you made the decision, you didn't understand where it was going to lead you.
Well, you weren't ready for that particular event. You chose an event you weren't ready for.
Or just that that is the understanding that you were seeking out. Not in a conscious way in this physical. This is, like we said, if you're allowing the higher self to guide you, then decisions will be made either way, either by the higher self or by the physical self. It always leads to an event for us to study and think about, how did I come to this point, and then learn from it, and then we have our vibrational attunement.
Why did people blame other people for all their events? They're the outcome of all their events.
Those are people who are not engaging in the introspection.
Well, they're quasi. They're quasi event analysis.
It is a quasi event analysis where it's a limited study of the event, and possibly they're afraid to think of it, and do the introspection because they view it as self-judgment or judgment of others, but it really shouldn't be viewed as that way. It's all about the lesson. So we really should avoid casting blame to other people, because what happens is we don't process the lesson or the event, and out of the event, the lesson, and then we don't get the vibrational attunement.
Well, your mind becomes narrow. You can't think, they say you don't think out of the box. When you become that narrow, you cannot process the event you just got through experiencing.
So in order to fully realize the understanding that we need and to receive a complete vibrational attunement to that understanding, we have to open up the parameters of our viewing. What is available? Don't have the narrow-mindedness. Open up your mind and think about.
Everything's available through the universe. It's a huge network of intelligence, where if you're able to tap into the universal network, there's a huge amount of intelligence that you can capture. If you're not ready, you're not going to receive it yet.
And so if you are actively looking for the understanding in your events, your dilemmas, if you want to call it that, each event in your life, then there are those in the spirit realm who recognize that you are searching for answers, you're searching for truth, and they will project thoughts to you to help you with your understanding. Now, we do want to interject here for those who want to engage in channeling. That is a higher step, and so we have to first engage in the introspection and the learning the basic concepts and ideas before we move on into channeling. The reason why is if we don't have the basic understanding, there are multiple malfunctions that happen. And there is, instead of the vibrational attunement to complete understanding, what happens is that we have this incomplete attunement, and our level of understanding does not correlate with truth and facts completely. It also interferes with your own vibration. It really causes a dysfunction in our own vibration, which we don't want to go to. So avoid trying to get into channeling until you are completely ready, until you have the basic knowledge and understanding that is aligned.
Able to clear all the events that have happened up to this point in your life. That is from childhood on. Once you understand all those events and what created them, and you don't hold anything against anyone, then you're possibly able to call it meditation, channeling, or etc. But everything is made up of vibration. Everything is made up of vibration. And so each event has its own vibration.
And so we're studying vibration, and through that vibrational study of each event in our lives, then we have our vibrational attunement, which correlates to that level of understanding.
Correct.
That's what we want to get to.
So the event, the study of the event, which is the vibration of that particular event, how to learn, how to understand, and the vibrational attunement. Once you begin to learn about the event and understand why the event happened, then you will get what we call vibrational attunement.
And so the very basics of this would be your analysis of each event would be, why did this happen? What do I need to learn or gain out of this? And of course, evaluating each decision that led up to the event.
Yeah.
So
with that,
hopefully we clear it up a little bit for you.
Yeah, hopefully. Again, you go out and you sit, like going in a forest. I'm just using this as an example. It don't have to be in a forest. It could be in a desert area. It could be almost anywhere. You sit and you listen and you introspect your whole life. If you can take the answer without blaming others, and that's the biggest thing, without blaming others, you sit and you listen and you see the whole forest as in a symbolic nature. See all that's in front of you, and then you can begin to clear all those things that you thought influenced your life, whether it be positive or negative. But you begin to clear it and understand why each event happened.
Remember, we're here in a physical world to study vibration, and all of the atoms in our physical existence have vibration. So therefore, all the atoms that make up the material world have vibration. So your tree has a vibration, the earth has a vibration, and our physical being, our body has a vibration, our soul, our thoughts. So that's how it correlates to the physical world.
Okay, with that.